Stop scrolling. What if everything you've been taught about innovation and success is holding you back? There's a radical truth that separates those who merely compete from those who create. And by the end of this video, you'll know what it is. Imagine standing in an empty world. No distractions, just one burning question. How do you create something truly new? Something the world has never seen before. That's the powerful idea at the heart of Peter Thiel's groundbreaking book, 0 to 1. Thiel argues that real innovation isn't about making existing things incrementally better. It's about building something entirely new, like inventing the airplane instead of just trying to make a horse run faster. This isn't just theory, it's a blueprint for a better future. Have you ever felt the world needed a bold idea to change everything? This book puts you on the path to doing exactly that. It doesn't offer ordinary tips or motivational platitudes. Instead, it presents an entirely different way of thinking. Consider it your treasure map to designing the better future. Peter tells us that success isn't just about competition. It's about escaping it entirely. Think of it like a game of chess where you don't win by just moving, but by thinking 10 steps ahead. Isn't that the edge we're all looking for? What makes 0 to 1 so remarkable is that it speaks directly to those who want to make a genuine impact. If you're an entrepreneur dreaming of building your own company, an investor looking to fund true innovation, or even just someone who wants to understand how big ideas change the world, this book is for you. Think of it as a practical guide to becoming one of the future's creators, instead of just a spectator. Is this what you've been searching for? If so, let's begin our journey from 0 to 1. Chapter 1. The future begins now. When we talk about the future, we're not just discussing the passage of time or gradual change. We're talking about the opportunity to craft something entirely new. Peter Thiel, in 0 to 1, guides us to understand the critical difference between true creation and mere iteration. Iteration is when we improve something that already exists, like making a car faster or a phone more efficient. But real creation is when we innovate a concept, product, or service that has never existed before. Think of inventing the first airplane or developing the internet. This is the essence of moving from 0 to 1. It's not just progress, it's a leap that opens entirely new doors to a different future. But here's the crucial insight. Peter Thiel argues that competing in crowded markets isn't the path to massive success. Instead, true success, if you look at most truly successful companies, you'll find they didn't succeed by merely outdoing their competitors at what they already did. They succeeded by inventing entirely new pathways. Consider Google. It didn't become a leader just by developing faster search engines. It redefined how we access information online. Another example is Tesla, which didn't just try to improve traditional cars. it completely redesigned the concept of electric transportation. This idea leads us to an important question. Why do we often focus on competition? Because competition seems like the easier route. We know the existing rules, and we just try to be slightly better than everyone else. But the problem with this approach is that it puts us in an endless race. Winning in a crowded market might give you temporary success, but it won't grant you true leadership. Conversely, when you create something new, you become the pioneer in your field, setting the rules instead of following them. Thinking about real innovation is like looking at a blank canvas. You have complete freedom to design something from scratch. But with this freedom comes a great responsibility. How do you know what to innovate? This is where curiosity and experimentation come into play. When you ask, "What if?" and start testing ideas, you might reach that pivotal moment where you change the game entirely. Every great idea begins with a simple question, like, what if we could travel to space at a fraction of the cost? And that's precisely what drove SpaceX. The fundamental difference between iteration and true creation is that iteration relies on improving what's already there, while creation relies on seeing something others don't. Real innovation requires the courage to break from the conventional and take risks. Innovative ideas might seem illogical at first, much like the internet seemed a vague and incomprehensible concept in its early days. Yet it's now the foundation of almost everything in our lives. At the end of this chapter, the most important lesson is that future success demands bold thinking and a commitment to creating new things rather than merely refining the old. Ask the big questions and don't be afraid to experiment with ideas that seem impossible. Innovation begins with curiosity and thrives when you find the courage to explore the unknown. Chapter 2: Secrets of Success. Success, at its core, isn't just about skill or hard work. It requires a unique vision and the ability to discover opportunities no one else has seen. Peter Thiel proposes a fascinating idea in this context. The world is full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Here, secrets don't just mean hidden facts, they mean opportunities hidden in plain sight. Details that the majority overlooks. It's like looking at a complex painting. Some only see colors and lines, while a select few see the complete picture. True success requires you to be among those few with the ability to see what others cannot. To grasp the depth of this idea, let's consider how leading companies often begin by exploring an unknown secret. Amazon, for instance, didn't just start as an online bookstore. It began with a foundational idea that seemed elusive. What if we could turn the internet into the world's largest marketplace? For Jeff Bezos, the internet wasn't just a medium for information. It was a massive platform that could be leveraged to completely change the way people shop. The idea was bold and unconventional, but it led to extraordinary success because it was built on a secret he discovered before anyone else. But wait, there's more to this than just thinking differently. Thinking outside the box isn't just a slogan we hear at conferences. It's a skill that demands courage and the ability to face challenges. It's like digging for gold. You need to dig deep in unexplored areas to find the treasure. But digging alone isn't enough. You must know where to dig. This is where unique vision comes in. For example, when Uber started, the transportation market was completely saturated. But the founder's vision wasn't to improve the traditional taxi system. It was to redefine the concept of personal transportation entirely through technology. They saw an opportunity in combining apps and smartphones to offer a completely different transport experience. And that was the secret that made them stand out. Another idea Peter Thiel emphasizes is that success requires courage. The world is full of people with brilliant ideas, but only a few have the courage to execute them. Fear of failure is the biggest obstacle to innovation. But if you look at the greatest success stories, you'll find they started with a huge risk. Elon Musk's SpaceX is a prime example. Who would have thought space travel could become a commercial endeavor? Musk risked everything because he had a unique vision and unwavering courage. The result is that he didn't just change the concept of space exploration, but opened the door to an entirely new future. Thiel also clarifies that secrets are only discovered when we ask the right questions. A good question can be the beginning of an amazing innovation. When you ask, "Why hasn't this been done before?" or "How can we do this better?" you begin to challenge the status quo and open new doors. And every great idea starts with a question, and the right question can lead you to discover a secret that changes the course of your life. What makes the idea of searching for secrets so appealing is that it puts you in a position of leadership. When you discover a new secret, you become the first to enter the market and define the rules of the game. But the key here is not just to look for any secret, but for a secret that can turn into real value, adding something tangible to the world. It's not about random adventure, but thoughtful exploration and the daring to venture into the unknown. In the end, the clear lesson from this chapter is that true success begins by seeing the world with new eyes. Don't stop at the surface. Instead, look for opportunities hidden beneath the details. Ask the big questions and let your courage push you beyond the boundaries of the familiar. Remember, the world is full of secrets, and the successful are those who have the audacity and vision to discover them and turn them into reality. Chapter 3: Monopoly and Distinction. When you hear the word monopoly, you might envision giant corporations dominating markets and denying competitors a chance to enter. But Peter Thiel offers an entirely different perspective. In his view, monopoly isn't necessarily a negative thing. In fact, it can be a powerful driver of innovation and progress, especially when it's based on offering unique value that others cannot easily compete with. Here, monopoly doesn't mean absolute control through force. It means creating a product or service that makes competition irrelevant from the outset. Success in the market isn't about being the fastest or the cheapest. It's about being the only one offering something that cannot be copied. To understand this idea deeply, let's look at major companies that achieved success by building exceptional competitive advantages. Apple, for example, didn't compete with other computer or smartphone manufacturers by merely lowering prices or improving performance. Instead, it focused on delivering an unparalleled user experience. Product design, integration between hardware and software, and strong brand loyalty. This allowed Apple to occupy a position that no traditional competitor could easily seize. This kind of monopoly isn't built overnight. It's the result of years of focusing on excellence and delivering exceptional value. Here's the crucial twist. Peter Thiel argues that monopolies don't arise in vast, crowded markets. Instead, they begin in small, specific niches. Successful companies often start by identifying a precise problem faced by a small group of people, then offer a unique solution that meets their needs. This creates a strong base for launching into larger markets. Amazon, for example, started as an online bookstore before gradually expanding to become the most comprehensive e-commerce platform. Its initial focus on a small market allowed the company to build expertise and a strong reputation before facing competition in larger arenas. A monopoly built on true value also requires a deep understanding of competitive advantage. Competitive advantage isn't just a better product. It's everything that makes your business unique and difficult to replicate. This could be technology, design, business model, or even organizational culture. Google didn't monopolize the search engine market just because it was the fastest. It redefined search by offering accurate and easy-to-use algorithms, making it the top choice for users. Its monopoly didn't come from forcing users to use it, but from providing an experience that made competitors entirely obsolete. However, distinction and monopoly require courage in making strategic decisions. Many companies fear focusing on a small market or offering a product different from the norm because they see it as a risk. But Peter Thiel asserts that the real risk lies in trying to please everyone. Companies that try to compete with others in everything often fail to build a clear identity. In contrast, companies that focus on distinction build solid foundations that are difficult to dismantle. The practical lesson here is that monopoly isn't an end in itself. It's the result of focusing on delivering something truly unique. Don't try to be the best at what others do. Strive to be the only one at what you do. Start in a small market you can dominate. Then use that success as a springboard for expansion. Understand what makes your business special and focus on reinforcing that advantage instead of trying to adapt to every competitor. True distinction comes from innovation and courage. And that's what makes monopoly a positive force that propels the world forward. Chapter 4: Technology and Humanity. When we talk about technology, images of advanced innovations like AI, self-driving cars, or robots often come to mind. But Peter Thiel invites us to think about technology from a broader perspective. Technology isn't an end in itself. It's a means to achieve goals that serve humanity. True innovation isn't just about developing new techniques. It includes progress in all areas of life, from economy to education, from health to arts. The idea here isn't to replace humans with technology, but to use it as a tool to enhance our capabilities and solve the problems we face. Let's take healthcare as an example. In recent decades, technological progress has improved the lives of millions through innovations like advanced medical devices, targeted therapies, and even digital health apps that help people effectively manage their illnesses. But these innovations aren't just technologies in themselves. They are solutions designed to meet fundamental human needs, like staying healthy and living longer, more productive lives. Technology in this context is a means to enhance humanity, not a substitute for it. Thiel emphasizes that innovation must be directed towards achieving a balance between technological advancement and societal needs. If we focus solely on technology without considering the human context, we risk losing our way. For example, social media might be one of the most impactful innovations of our era, but it has also raised significant questions about its impact on human relationships and mental health. Here lies the challenge. How do we develop technology so that it serves us and not controls us? Now, this next part is vital. The world's leading companies understand this balance well. A company like Tesla doesn't just aim to develop advanced electric cars. It works to achieve a broader vision related to a sustainable future based on clean energy. Technological innovation, in this case, isn't limited to the product itself. It extends beyond to serve a deeper human purpose, reducing climate change and protecting the planet for future generations. This type of innovation reflects a true understanding of the relationship between technology and humanity. But achieving this balance requires a comprehensive view of innovation. Peter Thiel points out that innovation can happen in any field, not just in advanced technology. Small companies working to improve access to clean water in rural areas, or schools using innovative teaching methods to motivate students, are all examples of how innovation can serve humanity in multiple ways. The key here is to focus on human needs, not just pursue new technologies. Technology, when used correctly, can be a powerful tool to free humans from constraints. But it becomes a challenge if we lose the human dimension in the pursuit of progress. Artificial intelligence, for instance, holds immense potential to improve productivity and solve complex problems. But it also raises concerns about privacy, ethics, and the future of jobs. Here lies the role of conscious leadership that places people's needs at the heart of every decision related to technology. The lesson to be drawn from this chapter is that innovation is not just a race towards the future. It is a balanced process aimed at improving human life. Technology alone is not the solution. Rather, the way we use it determines whether it will become a positive force or a threat. We must always ask ourselves, how can this innovation serve humanity? And what steps must we take to ensure that technology works for us, not against us? This approach not only helps achieve sustainable progress, but also ensures that humanity remains at the heart of every success story. Chapter 5: Long-Term Thinking. True success, whether in business or life, doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of a long-term vision and a carefully considered strategy built with patience and persistence. Peter Thiel emphasizes the importance for companies and individuals to have distant, long-term goals. Short-term objectives might offer quick gains, but they often fail to achieve a lasting impact. Long-term thinking is what distinguishes projects that endure and leave a real mark from those that vanish as soon as circumstances change. To understand this idea more deeply, we can look at the success stories of major corporations. A company like Amazon didn't just start with the goal of selling books online. It had a broader vision of becoming the comprehensive platform for e-commerce. Jeff Bezos, the company's founder, laid out long-term plans from the beginning and focused on building robust infrastructure and exceptional customer service. This thinking allowed the company to gradually expand into new areas like cloud computing and artificial intelligence. There were years when Amazon didn't achieve significant profits, but it continued to invest in its future based on a clear vision and distant goals. Long-term goals require genuine commitment and patience, which isn't easy in today's world that tends to celebrate quick success and immediate gains. Startups that only seek to attract investors or achieve quick returns often fall into the trap of focusing on what can be achieved in the next few months, ignoring the big questions about the future. This type of thinking can lead to ill-considered decisions, such as haphazard expansion or cost-cutting at the expense of quality. On the contrary, companies that adopt a long-term vision work to build a strong foundation that ensures their success, even in the face of challenges. And here's why a clear vision is more than just a plan. A clear vision isn't just a planning tool. It's a powerful force that helps in making better decisions. When you have a clear idea of where you want to go, it becomes easier to identify the paths that bring you closer to that goal. Companies that know their long-term objectives are often more adaptable to changes because they understand that every decision must be part of a larger plan. For example, Tesla didn't just focus on selling electric cars. Its core vision was to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. This grand goal is what led it to develop battery technologies and solar power, which now place it at the forefront of companies shaping the future of clean energy. Individuals can also benefit from long-term thinking. Imagine someone who wants to build a successful career path. If they focus only on the next job or the next raise, they might miss opportunities that lead to their real dreams. Long-term thinking means looking at the career path as a whole, identifying the skills to acquire and the experiences to gain to achieve ultimate goals. This might mean sacrificing short-term gains for investments in education or building a strong network of contacts. But these steps enhance opportunities in the long run. Peter Thiel also clarifies that long-term thinking requires persistence and the ability to endure obstacles. The road to big goals is not always straight and is often filled with challenges and doubts. Companies and individuals who can maintain their vision despite these challenges are the ones who ultimately achieve success. Success isn't just a result of favorable circumstances. It's a reflection of the ability to focus on goals and work towards them with determination. Ultimately, long-term thinking isn't just a strategy, it's a way of life. It changes the way we see the world and deal with opportunities and challenges. A clear and sustainable vision helps us build a better future. Whether in business, when we think long-term, we transcend current limits and look to the possibilities we can create if we are willing to invest in the future with patience and resolve. Chapter 6: Building the Team. Success in any project, whether a startup, an established organization, or even a small initiative, depends heavily on the people who work together to achieve common goals. Peter Thiel asserts that building a team isn't just a procedural step in establishing companies. It's a fundamental pillar that determines the fate of the entire project. Successful companies aren't just built on great ideas or meticulous plans. They rely on cohesive teams with a unified vision and relationships founded on trust and understanding. When looking at the major companies that have left their mark on the world, we find that they all share one thing: teams that possess a delicate balance between technical skills and personal harmony. Take the example of Google, founded by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Google's success wasn't just a result of their innovative idea for improving search engines. It was a result of the work culture they established within the company. They chose a team of individuals who shared their vision and possessed the necessary skills to drive the project forward, while ensuring that the work environment fostered creativity and collaboration. But building a successful team requires more than just choosing people with experience or qualifications. Peter Thiel indicates that cohesion within the team is the decisive factor that differentiates success from failure. Cohesion here means that every individual in the team has a shared understanding of the goals, and that everyone works with a spirit of cooperation rather than being just a group of individuals working separately. This cohesion is what helps teams face challenges and overcome obstacles without losing enthusiasm or deviating from the path. Here's the secret sauce for team success. Effective leadership plays a vital role in building this cohesion. A leader isn't just the person who sets plans or makes big decisions. They are the person who can create a work environment that motivates everyone to give their best. Effective leadership means the ability to see the potential in every team member and guide them in a way that makes them feel like an essential part of the success. Steve Jobs, for instance, had a unique ability to inspire his team and challenge them to push the boundaries of creativity. Although his leadership style was sometimes controversial, his impact on the team was evident in the innovative products Apple delivered. Choosing the right team isn't just about individual competencies. It also includes ensuring diversity in backgrounds and perspectives. This diversity enriches discussions and solves problems in innovative ways. Teams composed of people with similar backgrounds and experiences might be more harmonious, but they often lack the ability to think outside the box. In contrast, diverse teams have greater flexibility in dealing with challenges because they benefit from different viewpoints and multiple skills. Peter Thiel also clarifies that successful teams are not just groups working to achieve short-term goals. They are entities built to endure and adapt to changes. Building a strong team means choosing people who not only possess the necessary skills for current success, but also have the ability to grow with the company and adapt to the future. Companies that understand this concept invest in developing their employees and providing a work environment that helps them learn and grow. In the end, building a team is both an art and a science. It requires a clear vision of what you want to achieve and a deep understanding of the people you need to get there. The ideal team is not just a group of talented individuals. It is a group that works in harmony to achieve common goals. Strong leadership, cohesion, and diversity are the essential elements that enable teams to face any challenge and build something worth lasting. When you choose your team, don't just think about what each individual can offer today, but consider what they can become in the future if you provide them with the right environment to grow. Closing thoughts. Innovation isn't just a buzzword circulated by entrepreneurs or a term used to embellish business plans. It is the backbone of any project seeking to create real change. Peter Thiel in 0 to 1 presents a bold and inspiring vision for how to transform ideas into reality and how innovation can be the fundamental driver of progress. The book concludes that true innovation requires stepping outside the familiar and transcending mere iteration. It means seeking novel solutions to existing problems, or even exploring needs that haven't yet been recognized. But this kind of innovation doesn't come easily. It demands a willingness to take risks, accept failure as part of the process, and most importantly, the courage to take unconventional paths. Real success isn't built on merely improving what already exists. It's built on creating something entirely new, something that can change the rules of the game. Thinking this way requires a clear and coherent vision, a vision that reflects a deep understanding of what the market needs and what can be offered in a unique way. The practical application of these ideas begins by designing products or services that add unprecedented value. This means thinking about what can be offered to the audience, not just to solve a problem, but to provide a completely new experience. For example, when Apple started developing its smartphones, wasn't just trying to make a better phone. It was seeking to redefine. A clear vision isn't just a leadership tool. It's a roadmap that guides companies and individuals towards success. Peter Thiel makes it clear that success requires specific, long-term goals, and not just focusing on quick gains. This type of planning helps in making informed decisions and makes work more effective. For example, a company like Tesla didn't achieve its success just because it built electric cars. It established a long-term vision to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy. This vision wasn't just a formal statement. It was the driving force behind every decision, from product design to market expansion. Collaboration, cohesive teams that possess intellectual and practical harmony can overcome challenges and achieve successes that exceed expectations. When the right people are chosen and provided with the appropriate tools and environment, it becomes possible to achieve things that seem impossible. For the target audience of this book, the benefits are clear and tangible. Entrepreneurs can gain practical tools to build innovative companies that add real value to the market. Investors can benefit from a deeper understanding of untapped economic opportunities, and anyone seeking to make a fundamental change in their field can draw inspiration for a new approach to tackling challenges. 0 to 1 isn't just a book about business or innovation. It's an invitation to think differently, a way that challenges the status quo and opens new horizons. The core idea you should take away is that real innovation begins with believing in the possibility of change and being ready to take the risk.